Hi, friends. You're welcome back to another episode of the Bed with Benhene podcast. My name is Akosuabenhene. If you're seeing me for the very first time, I just want to say you're welcome. So, we have just stepped into a new year, and I feel like what other time can I talk about rebranding yourself or just generally changing your identity if not now, right? So, today I'm going to be talking about rebranding yourself, more so about the inner work that you have to do to make the rebrand look good, okay? To make the rebrand feel good. So today I do want to focus a lot more on inner work. I'm going to be giving you guys a few tips that I have personally learned. Because let me just say that I have done this rebranding thing at this point a million and one. Okay. And when I say a million and one, it's just a phrase that describes how many times I have gone through the process of rebranding myself or changing my mentals and changing what I look like physically. And if you've been watching me or following my contents for a while, you would know that the Akusia that you knew before is not the Akusia that you're seeing right now. It's not the Akusia that you're listening to today. I mean, if you're here on this episode, then it means that you have made a decision to rebrand yourself. You've made a decision to make some identity shift. That's what I call it. Okay. It's literally going to be an identity shift. Like people are going to be asking, well, who's this girl? And that's exactly the vibe that we're going for. So I'm going to be sharing a few tips that I have personally used, things that have helped me on my journey, things that I have found relevant. Okay. Because there can be a million and one things that you can do while you're on the journey to rebrand yourself. But again, these are things that personally I feel like I have used and I have found helpful. So I'm going to start off by giving you 3 tips on how you can do that inner work, okay? Just sort of like doing that shadow work before you're stepping into or before you step into that actual external rebrand. So we need to do that inner work. That's something that we're not going to skip. Now, the very first thing that I can think of when I talk about doing the inner work is healing your past traumas, okay? Anything that you have that's holding you back, you want to let that go. A big example for me would be dealing with the loss of my mom. I guess I just didn't know the magnitude of, what that loss was doing to my life and how it had just altered my general view of people and how I let people into my life. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm seeing how much of an effect losing my mom had on me, okay? Just generally how it affected the way I let people into my life because I was scared of going through that same hurt again. And therapy helped me because I didn't know what to do by myself. Child, I really didn't know how to navigate that whole emotion by myself. So I spoke to a therapist, and that legit was the best decision that I made. I decided that I was going to work on my past hurt before stepping into a new identity. I knew for a fact that I am stepping into this new self, and this new self, I don't think I have time to be holding on to some type of emotion, some type of energy that is just not right. And so I had to deal with it. So when I say heal your past traumas, that's what I mean. And the next thing that I'm going to say is taking time to just redefine what your values are right now. What are the things that matter to you right now? What are the things that you place value on right now? I'm sure all of us, when we were younger, we had things that, we placed so much value on, and right now we don't feel the same way. So you want to take time and ask yourself right now, what are the things that you know for a fact that you believe and you want to live your life by? That's kind of like what I mean when I say your values, okay? Whatever your values are for right now, you want to write them down because that's what's going to be guiding you on this rebranding journey that you're going on. That's what's basically going to build your personality, if it makes sense, okay? And then the last tip before I get into the actual external rebrand would be visualize, your ideal new self, I would say. Write down what you want this new identity to look like in general, from head to toe. I'm not even kidding. Map it down. If you need to draw a picture, draw it down. It's like you have this gut feeling of this woman that you've envisioned. You just need to step into it, and that's what we're going to do. So you need to envision, if you haven't already envisioned, if you haven't already visualized what you want the woman to be, then this is the time for you to do that, okay? Take your time, visualize this new identity. What is she doing when she wakes up in the morning? And I'm telling you, I know it sounds very funny and like kind of cliche, but trust me, that's how you're going to know the daily lifestyle to build to be able to be this person. I'm not even kidding. Besides healing your past traumas and trying to do a lot of the inner work, that's kind of like the first phase into doing the outer work, okay? And now let's get into the external work that you can do to help you rebrand yourself, okay? The first thing that I can talk about is changing your environment. And I personally did this, okay? I moved everything in my apartment around. Like this stuff was here. Like, if you watch my vlogs from a long time ago, this was here. Now I have a vanity here. My living room, I moved things around. I put new decor. I repainted my entire apartment. Like, I'm not even kidding, child. When I tell you that it literally just kickstarted that whole identity change, it literally kickstarted it because now my space was giving a lot more of this new person that I wanted to be, or of this new person that, I was working on. And it just made it a lot more better because every time I woke up, I saw this new space. And this is the space of the girl that I've been trying to build. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to change your environment, and you don't need to break the bank doing that. Let me just say that, okay? You can just move things around. You can just change things around, move a table to a different position, move this to a different position. Just do a little something here and there. The things that you see around you, they empower you so much. Or at least for me, it did. Take one day, declutter your closet, throw out some shoes that you don't want, throw out some clothes that you don't want, things that don't feel true to this new person that you're trying to be. And trust me, that is going to make you feel 10 times better. That is going to give you the boost that you need to get the whole journey started, okay? And then the next thing that I can say is working on your appearance, okay? And you don't need to spend any money doing this. Let me just say that. Don't spend any money doing this, first of all. If you want to spend money, that's fine. But you don't need to spend money doing this. You can experiment new stuff, experiment new styles. When I say updating your appearance, I mean experimenting with new styles, experiment new hairstyle, new fashion ideas, you might have been doing one style for the longest time. You might want to try to switch that up. You might want to try to switch up that hairstyle, the one go-to hairstyle that you've been doing for 1,000,001 years. Try to change that. Switch it around a little. If you like it, that's fine. But if you are looking to change it, or if you're just tired in general, switch a few things around with your appearance and see how they sit with you right now. See how they make you feel right now. Most of the times you don't have to make big changes because you're not changing so much from who you are. You're not changing like who you are entirely. You're just trying to step into your best self. You're just trying to step into a much better version of yourself. So try to update your style or your appearance in a way that matches with this new self, okay? The vision that you have, the vision that you've already seen, the hairstyle, the nails, is it minimal style that you're going for? Is it red nails that you're going for? Are you going for pulled back hair? Are you going for short hair? What are you going for right now? What feels a lot more you right now? Update your appearance in a way that suits this new you, okay? And then the next tip that I'm going to give you when it comes to doing that external work would be building habits, okay? Building small habits here and there that suits this new person, this new face, okay? It could be your fitness routine. It could be building a strong morning routine, okay? Because sometimes a lot of us don't have morning routines, so I'm going to talk about that. It could be having a good evening routine. It could be building balance between work and family. So what habits do you need to work on? What habits do you feel like you can work on in this new phase to make you better, So start small. That's what I can say. Start small. If it's a nighttime routine that you need to build, start by building a nighttime routine, and then you're going to move on to building another routine and another routine, just to keep having that balance with your life and whatever you do on the side, okay? So definitely start by building small habits here and there, habits that just fuel this new identity, this new phase that you've stepped into. Rebranding definitely can be overwhelming because it might feel like you're changing a lot of things at the same time. So I don't want you to really do that. Start by doing small habits every day that can get you to the stage that you're trying to get to, okay? And then point number 4 for me will be setting boundaries for yourself, okay? Setting boundaries for yourself and sticking to them. And setting boundaries can look like saying no to people and activities that no longer serve you, okay? Everything that no longer serves you in the past, you need to be able to set personal boundaries for yourself and stick to them, because you can very easily go back into these old habits. You can very easily go back into some old things that you were doing that you know for a fact that is not going to serve this new you. So you need to set some boundaries and stick to them. And then one tip that has personally helped helped me with my rebrand journey and just generally, stepping into this new phase that I've always wanted to step into is allowing myself to constantly learn new things, okay? You need to be in a phase of like being a sponge, being ready to always absorb some knowledge, some information, some resource, anything that's going to make you better. You need to be ready to absorb it, okay? And then the next tip that I can give you is surrounding yourself with the right people, okay? I cannot overemphasize how important this is, especially if you're trying to step into a better version of yourself or if you're trying to rebrand yourself. Having the right people around you is going to inspire you to be even better. Having the right people around you, the people who are doing things at the speed that you're going at right now, the people who encourage you, the people who inspire you without even having to say so much, just a lifestyle that they live inspire you. And that's what I'm talking about. And from the vision of, the woman that you want to be, or from the knowing of this new self, the people that you want to be in the room with, the people that you want to wake up and say, these are my friends. Networking is such an important thing, okay? Allowing yourself to be in spaces where you know for a fact that you're going to be absorbing information, spaces where you know for a fact that as you're leaving this space, you are going to be a better version of yourself, or you're just better just by being around these people, having conversations with these people, living every day with these people. You know that your life is going to be better. And that's what I'm talking about. You need to surround yourself with the right people. You need to find a mentor or a coach or maybe a podcast. I would always say that. I feel like a podcast for me on my journey has been one of the best self-help tools that I could have, ever gotten out there for free. Literally listening to shared experiences, taking a thing or two from what people have gone through, from what has worked for people, okay? You need that. You need to surround yourself with the right people. I can't even overemphasize that. And then now the next thing that I'm going to talk about is reintroducing yourself. I feel like that is such an important thing. And if you follow me on Instagram, somewhere in 2024, I kind of did a reintroduction, not like a full reintroduction, but there was a reintroduction. And as soon as you step into this new self, nothing will tell you to reintroduce yourself. You will feel like you need to reintroduce yourself because you know that you're not the same person that people knew before. So it's like, I gotta show you this new me. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, I gotta talk about this new me. I gotta introduce this new me so that you people can relate to me as this new me. And that's what I'm talking about. Reintroduction doesn't exactly mean, blowing some horn and telling people I am a new person, see me, no. The way you interact with people can reintroduce you without you even having to tell them, what journey you're on. People can just see from how you're radiating change, from how you're radiating this new being. So you need to be able to reintroduce yourself in that manner. And the people who need to hear it, the people who need to hear the reintroduction in words, you might as well tell them, okay? Like, you might as well tell them. You might as well do a little video telling them, because why not? But especially if you have a social media profile, you can change that profile picture. You can change your WhatsApp picture. You can change your bio. Just reintroduce yourself in a way that aligns with this new you, that is authentic to this new you that you have built or that you're working on building, okay? And then the last thing that I can talk about is coming back every now and then to do some sort of reflection, okay? I feel like that's key, especially to my journey that I have been on. Just taking time every now and then to check in with myself to make sure that, am I okay? Am I still in tune with my values? Is everything going the way that I need it to go? I feel like doing a personal audit every now and then is such an important thing. That's something that I didn't used to do. So I am going to definitely entreat you to every now and then take time, sit down, check in with yourself, check in with your emotions, check in with things that, don't feel right, things that might still need change as you're going, because change is something that can never stop. Growing is always going to have change in the mix. The more we grow, the more change is going to happen. So change is going to be a constant in our lives. And so doing a personal audit for me, I feel like it's something that is always going to be there. Checking in with yourself, doing that reflection, making sure that you're on the right path, and making sure that you're still in tune and authentic to yourself is key. Okay, so this is a journey that I feel like we are going to be going on every now and then. Every now and then you might feel the need to shake things up, change things here and there. And that's perfectly fine, okay? Rebranding for me can happen at any time in your life, can happen whenever you decide that you need it to happen, because only you know what time is good enough to make changes. Only you know when it's the right time to shake things up in your life and just switch it up on the people. You know what I'm saying? So, rebranding for me and change for me is something that's always going to happen. And last year, it was one of the biggest years where I went through the most external rebrand, which I loved, which I love. I'm still loving, I'm still living, and still always trying to be an even better version of this version that I have built. So, hope that these points that I've shared here will be helpful to you as they have been to me. Okay. I am happy that you're on this rebranding journey. I cannot wait to see, what this new self is going to be. I know it's going to be amazing, and I hope that you're able to set some boundaries and stick to the boundaries that you're setting for yourself. Thank you so much for being here today, and I love you. Bye.
When they say she get it from her mama, I'ma say you fuck her right, her body